And I have to say this, so I hope I don't offend anyone when I say this, but I don't particularly care for foster care. I really don't, because I feel like that they take the children from the home, but they don't put them in better places. It may be a small amount that you will have a success story of a child being in foster care. But the stuff that we found out later that my sister was going through foster care, you know, and then finding her on the floor, and they just told her to get back in bed. Next time they found her on the floor, she was dead, and blah, 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 all those different things. And I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know. Maybe it's just my experience or whatever. I'm just not. But anyway, that I think really played a big part of me kind of staying in my relationship as long as I did. But, yeah. But when I started getting ill and lost my stepdad, I had lost, in 2005, I lost my stepdad. One of my favorite nephews was murdered, shot 15 times.
Wow.
I lost a sister-in-law from cancer who I really was there for, you know, at the end. Like, she called me and I had to watch her go through all that. So many things started happening. And then when I, you know, got in a major car accident and a near-death experience, at that point, enough was enough.
Right.
I could not allow myself to continue to go through the abuse for other people. I couldn't allow myself, like, I loved my children. So I had plans, you know, I knew that the last two were getting ready to graduate. That's why I went back to college, and I really started planning, you know, my life all over again. When I say planning my life all over again, I did. You know, I hate the fact that, you know, I messed up what I felt that the Bible talks about marriage and not getting a divorce, but I couldn't no longer endure that. I couldn't no longer endure just anything that was negative to me or to my body, and I had to really start thinking about myself.
Yeah.
And I did. And that's when I just started doing a lot of stuff that I'm doing now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Glad you looked out for you, because, you know, that helped you stay where you're at, to bring you where you're at now.
Of course.
Is, you know, ladies and gentlemen, abuse is never okay in any form. Even if it, because a lot of times abuse starts verbally.
Oh, definitely.
You know, it starts verbally, like you know, the man or the woman might start saying negative things, you know, start nitpicking about, you know, little things about your body or things about the way you cook, or
they actually, and sorry for interrupting you, or you think it's cute because he wants to know where you are, or he starts calling all the time, and so you're thinking at first, man, you know, he's really into me, you know, he's wanting to know. But, you know, that over excessive calling and wanting to know where you are and what you're doing and where you at and blah, 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 those kind of things are not normal. I don't care what anybody says.
No, it isn't.
That is not normal. So that's a headache.
Yes,
boy, literally a headache, having to answer. You're grown just like he is, but having to answer to somebody where you at from point A to point B and all that. Let me tell you, I won't go through that ever again. And after that, I just, never mind. I'll leave it at that. I will not go through any of that again.
Right. And
raise your voice at me.
Exactly.
Talk to me crazy.
That's right. Go ahead and just cut it off and not deal with it, because, you know, a lot of women are not as fortunate to come out of the situation successfully as you have been graced to come out.
He's amazing. God's grace is amazing.
And, you know, we all get warning signs, and a lot of times because, you know, how you stayed there because of not wanting to break up your family and things like that, and it was it was fortunate and blessed for you, you know, that it did not take a turn where it spilled out to the children becoming physically abused.
Right.
Because sometimes
he's a good father.
Yeah, because sometimes that does happen.
He was
and
a good
so, you know, in that incident, there was, you know, a really good thing, and it's the power of forgiveness. How you were able to forgive and move on, you know, and that's something that you have to do, because it can hurt.
And it
so
takes,
how did you get? How did you get through it? Yes.
I would have to say, I had a really good friend. I had family that, you know, was supportive. You know, they kind of thought some things was going on. You know, my mom and sister was around, But I particularly had a friend that to this day I feel like I owe this friend my life. I was coming out of, you know, from the car accident, the near-death experience, the domestic violence, I was going through a divorce, and I have a specific friend that I just feel like I owe my life to. That encouraged me, that talked to me, that was that ear, you know, and just reminded me how beautiful I am as a woman and how special I am, and I'll never forget, you know, what they did. And I almost cry when I think about it, because it's so deep that no one will ever understand just that friendship.
Yes.
But it opened up that door again for me to just realize, you know, who I am,
right,
and who I was. And sometimes it takes that. We see people going through stuff, but we won't talk to them or we won't say anything. But it takes that friend to kind of see them. So, you know, and I just, like I said, I really feel like I owe this specific person like my life, because they did some things that nobody will ever understand, you know, what they did for me. So, but yeah. And then of course God, you know, plays a big part, you know, in my life and stuff like that. So I realized, and then when you're on your deathbed and you don't know if you're going to make it or not. And I tell this story, and it's the honest to God truth. I sat up in that bed. I was bleeding for 7 days. So they didn't know what was going on. You know, they had told my mother that my insides was like a 70, 80-year-old woman. They didn't know what was going on. They couldn't get it to stop. I was getting weak. Called my son home from college. You know, everybody's out there with me and whatever. And so I'll never forget sitting up in that hospital bed and literally looking at my hands, and I was like, okay, I was a good mom, a good wife, a good community person. I help people. I do this. I did that. But then I started counting on the other hands of dreams that I've always had, and wanting to go to Hawaii, and just, you know, I wanted to really model. I always really wanted to model, but my husband just was like, that wasn't happening. And I always wanted to model and do things and see beautiful things. And I was like, there is no way I'm about to get out. I'm not about to croak, die, do nothing right about now. I did it. And I'll never forget, you know, a pastor came in, and Bishop Johnson actually, and said that, you know, God told him to come out to the hospital and lay hands on me, not say anything, just lay hands. And when he did, it immediately dried up. And then from there, that's when I started focusing on my physical body. I started working out. I lost a lot of weight. I started eating healthy, changing, threw all the medications away from the doctors, and just really went in on being me. So like I said, the friend played a big part. The Lord, of course, he played the foundation, right? And then me.
Yes.
I have to give myself some credit, you know, because I really did go in on really working out, and just really and then seeing the vision and the dreams of what I had for myself, and realizing that age was no factor.
Age, no factor.
And that it was not too late for me.
That's right.
And that's when I really started pushing and pursuing my goals and dreams.
Oh, that's awesome. It's really good to have a friend, that person that it doesn't matter what you're going through. They're not going to try to condemn you. They're not going to try to judge you. They're just going to be there. And I don't think a lot of people know how to do that, because they're not taught. You know, most time when people, if they say they're there, they want to constantly bring up your slip-ups or your mistakes.
And they're actually judging you.
And
I went through that, and that was the hardest part of everything for me, is because people put you on this pedestal when I'm human. I'm a woman just like everybody else. And so I was on the radio, on the school board, elected official, and doing all these things. And at the end of the day, I felt like this specific person, my friend, looked at me like a person, like a human, you know, and actually listened to what I was saying. And, you know, but when you're in those positions and those things, you know, it's hard to say to people, look, this is what I'm going through. But if anybody really truly knows me, I've always been real, you know, like who I was. I never faked anything or nothing. Like even when I ran for school board, I didn't. So, you know, I was just talking to a couple of associates that I have, and as women, the things that we go through to try to make it in this in our careers as far as entertainment. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm probably going up the road the hard way because there's just things that I will not do, you know, to get there. And so I feel like that if I bend in any kind of way, whether it's from, I know people that will have different guy friends, thousands of friends, whether it's for money, whatever. I just refuse to do those kind of things, and I just have to go the hard way. And because when I get there, it was the right way, and it was God's way. And so it has not been easy for me. Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to sit up here and just perp about it or not, but I'm not too far away. Gotcha. I know that I'm not too far away, so I'm really excited about like a lot of projects and stuff. Like finishing the movie last time, you and I talked. Like we talked about like the Tracy Sipp show, which that's done and over with. I made it to the top 10 of the show. I didn't win, but to be in the top 10 of the Tracy Sipp show, I think we probably taped 15 episodes and I was in 13 or something like that. Yes. So. That was really a good thing, and finished the movie Rough Patch Twisted Fate, which is going to be released this summer. And so I'm really excited about that. We just did the rap party, and then some of the other projects as far as the modeling, whatever. And so then with the Age No Factor campaign, that is just awesome. Yeah, that's an awesome campaign.
Everybody love it.
They do. They do.
I actually seen where people are starting to do like modeling, you know, for 40 and over, you know, 40 over and fabulous and things like that, because people have this stigma that when you get, and I don't know where that ignorance come from, that when you reach 40, that, oh, you're old now, oh, you this, that, oh, you that. No, honey, because honestly, and we said this before, younger guys,
it's crazy.
They get with younger guys because you know they just like a girl toy, but most of them really want a real woman. They love older women, especially here in Atlanta. Me know.
You said me
know. And then, you know, I'd be looking at them like, are you kidding me? I'm like, boy, bye. You know, but they're persistent.
I mean, there's a thing about being seasoned. It's a plus, being seasoned. I'm not going to lie about that. But the Age No Factor campaign is really going well. And not only that is it for women, we started doing Age No Factor for men. So we did our first taping with men, which Tony Terry was there, DJ Aries was there from he used to be on 106 in Park, Red Dread from Hot 107.9, Drew. We had some actors. We had a male model that's 45 that was on the show. So it was actually awesome. So now Age No Factor, the men are really feeling the whole campaign for Age No Factor. And then I've been reached out by some youth programs that want to know if I could come and speak to the young people about Age No Factor. So what God has given me with that is awesome, and we believe that it's not going to be too much long that you're going to really be hearing about Age No Factor. So with that, and then I'm getting ready to tape a pilot right now of a show, a reality show called Business Women of Atlanta. So we're getting ready for that. And then of course, I'm always, look, everybody knows, I'm always like pushing like my artist, CC Server. He just did his album, 3 Feet From Gold. And then we have his movie. So, you know, I'm still doing some of the things that I'm doing. And then hopefully, you know, things can get put back in place the way that it should be, because I want to spend a little more time with my GBs, which is what I call them. Like Gigi, you know, My, C3, and Haven. Those are my hearts. So hopefully, you know, everything. And then I can get to see some of the beautiful things that I've always wanted to see. So, you know, it's a couple of things there. But I want to say thank you to you. You have always been very supportive of Jvet. Whether if I'm modeling somewhere, if I'm appearing somewhere, you've always been very supportive, and I really appreciate that, with you trying to get the information out, or whether it's just like I'm somewhere and you want everybody to know she's over here, or she's doing this and she's doing that. And I really appreciate it. And God's going to bless you, you know, because you have no respect of person. You don't necessarily have to be this big superstar or whatever. If somebody's doing something, and you're doing something positive, you're there, and you want to talk about it or whatever. So I appreciate it, because you're constantly like, what are you doing now? What are you doing? So I want to say thank you so much, because I believe this is probably the second interview we had. And thank you for the whole magazine thing. I appreciate that. She's going to have me on the cover of her magazine. and the spread inside.
Spread.
So
April 2012. 2014.
Yeah.
I go 12. April 2014. That's right.
So I just once again say thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No worries.
I appreciate
You're very
it.
welcome.
You.
No worries. Yeah, I'm very into embracing positivity. You know, I'm positively motivated, positively driven, and I'm just, you know, I love positivity, and because I went through so much negativity. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like,
yeah,
I don't
crazy.
like that whole energy vibe thing. I don't understand what the attraction is in it. Yeah. For me, because you could be positive and still have excitement, still be fun, still, you know, be beautiful and blossom and succeed. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be gritty and degrading all the time.
I'm
and
a
so,
positive person, 24/7, 365. You know, I don't really like all that negative stuff or whatever, and I'm a very supportive person, so I want to. Oh, but if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at Justice the Vet, and the is THA, so it's Justice THAVET. That's on Twitter. Instagram is at Justice aka Jvet, and Facebook is Robin Jvet Mobley. So we got a website that's coming up pretty soon for Age No Factor. Oh yeah, you can hit Facebook Age No Factor as well. So we're building the website, so pretty soon we'll make sure we let you know, and then you can let everybody know about that. So and then just stay tuned, because we're really moving with that Age No Factor campaign. We're gonna do a tour and everything. So
that's gonna be so hot. You know, I'm gonna be there anytime I can, because it really is. And I definitely want you all to support Miss Jvet, and I really appreciate your time allowing me into your home again.
Thank you so much.
And coming in to interview you and share your story, because it's really something that, you know, we all have something to give, but sometimes people just really need to hear it from someone of your stature.
Yeah, they just need to hear the story. You know, all the time they see just the pictures, you know, the pictures and things that I'm doing, but if they really understood some of the things that I've been through, you know, to even get where I am right now, you know, it's a story. That's why you always see me post on my sites, there's a true story about me.
Yeah,
you know, it's a true story about me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is.
Wow. But honey, I don't want to take up any more of your time. Thank you so much for sharing your information. And you all make sure you just follow her, support her. You can go on YouTube and see some of the
promos. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The promos.
Age No Factor.
So you have to, but they have to say Jvet Age No Factor, or if they type in Robin Mobley, all of them come up.
Yes.
So, yeah, go take a look.
And we'll put the links also on this. You should see the links at the bottom of the video, so of this interview, so you all can actually see, you know what the site is, the link itself. But I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much, and you're gorgeous as always.
Thank you.
And you're very encouraging and inspiring, and that's the kind of people that I am surrounding myself with. I absolutely refuse to surround myself with people who just want to use me and